A Princeton man convicted of killing his girlfriend sentenced today. NBC 26's Jennifer Naza was in court and has more. Jennifer.
Regina, Antonio Contreras will spend the rest of his life behind bars with no possible release after pleading no contest to murdering his late girlfriend, Grace Ryder Rudolph. Court records say Contreras was high on meth when he shot and killed Ryder Rudolph after the two had an argument in March of 2017. He then set their house on fire to cover up his tracks before fleeing to Florida. Today, an emotional courtroom as the victim's family sought justice for their loved one. They say they're thankful to the Green Lake County court system.
For him to get life in prison without any chance of parole gives peace to my heart and a little rest till 20 months of grueling, horrific emotions.
Several of the victims' family members also spoke at the hearing, saying they wanted to be the voice that Grace no longer has. They tell us they want this tragedy to act as a learning opportunity for others dealing with domestic violence and let offenders know that there are consequences for their actions. The family adds that Contreras is a dangerous man, so they are glad he won't be able to harm anyone else the way he did Grace. Jennifer Naza, NBC 26.
Thank you, Jennifer. The bomb squad and hazmat team were called to a home in West Green Bay this morning after police found what they describe as volatile chemicals in a small laboratory in a homeowner's basement. NBC 26's Eric Kress joins me now live from Green Bay with those details. Eric.
At about 9 a.m. this morning, police responded here to off of the 1200 block of Redwood Drive after they were trying to tell people to evacuate from their homes after they found what they described as potentially dangerous chemicals inside of a home on this block. Now, police say they were responding to a call about a disturbance between a man and a woman, but when they arrived, the woman ran inside and police followed. Now, inside they discovered what they described as a small laboratory filled with jars of chemicals that they say could possibly be used for drug manufacturing or making explosives. Now, police say they called in the hazmat team to find out what the chemicals were.
One of the things that we've been doing is just making sure that the scene is safe, working with the hazmat team for the fire department and the Brown County Bomb Squad. Anytime we run into chemicals that we're not quite sure what they are, obviously we want to take every precaution to make sure that the neighborhood stays safe.
Now, police are still waiting on test results to determine what the chemicals found inside were. And as far as the man and woman who were causing some sort of a disturbance out here this morning, well, police say they don't know where that woman went. But they did catch up with the man here in this driveway, and they brought him into police headquarters for questioning. Keeping you connected in Green Bay, I'm Eric Kress with NBC 26.
Thanks, Eric. Well, Governor Walker making his first public comments today after his election defeat. For more on that, let's get to NBC 26's Ryan Curry live in the newsroom now with more. Ryan.
Regina, Governor Scott Walker lost a close battle with Democrat candidate Tony Evers. The election went all the way down to the last few thousand votes. Tonight, for the first time, Walker spoke about the loss. In a press conference today, Walker says he spoke with Evers last week. He says he understands the transition can be a bit overwhelming, but the main focus Walker tried to convey was just moving on. Walker says he wants to look forward and not behind when it comes to transitioning out of power. He says he wishes Governor-elect Tony Evers the best of luck and will help Evers with transition efforts.
I'm trying not to burden him any more than he needs to be. Our staff has been working with his staff. Tonette will have the Evers over to the house to talk about logistics of just seeing things and getting a sense for that. We did that with the Dewells years ago. So we'll be very accommodating, but my sense is I don't want to burden him.
Walker also mentioned he had people double check each ballot to make sure the votes lined up with the numbers reported. Governor-elect Tony Evers will be sworn in January. Governor Walker has been in charge of Wisconsin since 2011. Reporting live in the Green Bay newsroom, I'm Ryan Curry for NBC 26.
Thank you, Ryan. Well, we're counting down to the start of the gun deer season this weekend. Well, there are some changes this year hunters need to know about. Several deer management zones and metro subunit boundaries have changed, so double check your hunting land on the DNR's map. Deer tags are now referred to as harvest authorizations. Hunters need to carry them and have proof of a hunting license while in the field. The DNR says that hunters may find the woods a little bit less crowded this year.
One of the things we like to track, because the trend has been long-term, relatively steady, but a slight decline. There's been a long time forecast that license sales will decline as the baby boomer generation starts to age out of deer hunting, and so we do track that. Where we're at right now is the license sales are basically tracking where they were last year.
And even with the slight decline, Pritzel says there will be about 100,000 new licenses filled out tomorrow alone. Well, let's turn to weather now. Cameron, what is the weather going to be like for hunters this weekend?
Regina, it's going to be cold and breezy at times. Here's a look at Saturday. Sunrise is at 6:51. We'll see mostly cloudy skies. Could be a few flakes out there, especially south of Oshkosh, and then decreasing clouds as we move through the afternoon with northwest winds at around 10 to 20 miles per hour and gusty. If you're looking for tracking snow, you'll find it across the Northwoods from snow that is already on the ground and across southern Wisconsin for snow that's going to fall tomorrow night into early Saturday morning. Now on Sunday, sunshine will mix with high clouds as we head through the afternoon. It's going to be cold at the deer stand at sunrise at 6:53, warming up to around 32 with a gusty southwest wind. Regina?
Thanks, Cameron. In Packers news now, the team has no time to relax as their next challenge is already here. With more on the test they face in Seattle tonight, Sports Director Charlie Sakaitis. Charlie.
Regina, the schedule makers didn't do the Packers any favor in the middle part of this NFL season. The quick turnaround leading into this evening's Thursday night affair at Seattle marks the third game in just 12 days. And it's against a foe that's become a de facto rival in the Seahawks. The Fail Mary happened in Seattle. That tragic loss in the NFC title game in 2014, also in Seattle. Green Bay has found some success in the Northwest City, 2-5 all time there though, and Aaron Rodgers drew upon that this week before the team shipped out.
We've won a couple times up there, and we've held our own at home over the years. So we know what it feels like to win up there. It's a tough environment, like I said, but we've definitely done it before. And you just got to start fast, got to take care of the football. They're very good at turning the ball over. I know there's some different personnel on their side of the ball that we've seen over the years, but they're still playing really well.
The Packers are currently 4-4-1 entering tonight's game. The Seahawks 4-5. This one immensely important for both clubs, which could lead to some inspired football. We'll have more on this tonight in the Now Wisconsin, and I'll be back with state football coverage and sports, keeping you connected. I'm Charlie Sakaitis for NBC 26.
Thank you, Charlie. Well, still ahead tonight, it's been 1 month since she vanished. An update from Barron County on the search for 13-year-old Jamie Kloss. And in sports, local high school football teams playing for state championships and the Gold Football Trophy.
You're connected to NBC 26 News at 6 with Stacey Engebretson, John Erickson, Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland, and Sports Director Charlie Sakaitis. NBC 26 News at 6, keeping you connected. And now, your Storm Shield forecast with NBC 26 Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland.
The warm-up that started yesterday continued today, and that meant most of us got up into the 40s for the first time in over a week. We'll see high temperatures right around 40 once again tomorrow, and then colder weather will return for the weekend and early next week with highs only in the upper 20s to lower 30s. Right now, we have widespread 30s across the area. It is currently 34 degrees in Mountain. It's 37 in Wapaka. Meanwhile, we're looking at 31 degrees in Sheboygan. Tons of sunshine across the area today. After a few lake effect clouds this morning, we're seeing a few high clouds now stream in from the west. Our main weather maker this afternoon, a very skinny area of high pressure that is now giving way to our next weather maker. It's an Alberta Clipper. It'll be here later on tonight, and that system is producing some snow here from South Dakota through Minnesota up into southwestern Ontario, and that area of snow is headed our way for late tonight into tomorrow morning. As you can see on SkyCast, we're going to watch some light snow or snow showers move across the viewing area as we move past midnight and head towards daybreak. We're not going to see much, but where we see some of those snow showers, we could see anywhere from a dusting to perhaps a ½ an inch by the time we get to tomorrow morning, and that could produce some slippery spots out there. Just keep that in mind as you head off to work and school Friday morning. Besides that, on Friday, look for clouds mixing with just a little bit of sunshine. High temperatures will be in the upper 30s to lower 40s. SkyCast, however, shows another system moving in tomorrow night into Saturday morning. Earlier this week, it looked like this system was going to produce a widespread 1 to 3 inches of snow across the viewing area. Then all the computer forecast models pushed it south. Now they're starting to bring it back north just a bit here. So Friday night into Saturday morning, it looks like we'll probably see some accumulating snow here, mainly to the south of Oshkosh. I'm talking about a ½ an inch to perhaps a couple of inches, 2 to 4 inches, not out of the question across southern Wisconsin. North of Oshkosh, it looks like a dusting to maybe a ½ an inch. Now, as we get to the Green Bay Holiday Parade at 10 o'clock Saturday morning in downtown Green Bay, we can expect mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be breezy. Temperatures will be in the lower 30s, so wind chills will be close to 20. Tonight, snow showers developing late. Most areas only see a dusting to perhaps a ½ an inch. Lows will be in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. Tomorrow, windy but seasonable. The normal high is 42. We're going to be pretty close to that. I'm forecasting a high of 40 for tomorrow. That is my 3-degree guarantee. If I can hit that high within 3 degrees, we will donate $100 to Pillars in Appleton, and we did that today. I forecast 40, and the high temperature was 40 degrees. So on Saturday, maybe a little bit of leftover light snow early in the day, especially, let's say, south of the Fox Cities, and then we'll see decreasing clouds as we move through the afternoon. It'll be breezy at times. High temperatures will be in the lower 30s. Sunshine giving way to increasing high clouds on Sunday. It's going to be windy. Look for a high around freezing after a very cold morning. On Monday, sunshine once again giving way to thickening clouds, upper 20s. That's another system that'll move through Monday night into Tuesday morning, producing a little bit of light snow, not a big deal, and then mostly cloudy for Tuesday. Of course, on Tuesday we have the downtown Appleton Christmas Parade. High temperatures will be in the lower 30s. By the time the parade kicks off, temps will be in the mid to upper 20s. Then we start to warm up on Wednesday, sun and clouds and 40, and then for Thanksgiving, much warmer. We'll see lots of sunshine and a gusty southwest wind, and that means temperatures will be in the mid-40s, and that means, you know, we could get out and take a walk. Maybe enjoy the sunshine and some warmer temperatures after eat all that turkey.
I wish the Thanksgiving degree was the Saturday holiday parade, because we're going to be out there braving it.
It's going to be cold, yeah. Lots and lots of layers if you're going to the parade in Green Bay on Saturday morning. Also for the Appleton parade on Tuesday.
And for hunters, too.
Yeah.
All happening on Saturday. All right, Cameron, thanks for that. Well, after the break, the search is the latest on the investigation trying to locate 13-year-old Jamie Kloss, now missing for a month. It's been 1 month to the day since 13-year-old Jamie Kloss disappeared from her Barron County home, and the FBI is looking at new ways to expand the search. Kloss disappeared on October 15th when sheriff deputies responding to a 911 call found her parents, James and Denise Kloss, shot to death inside. Jessica Bring has more from the Barron County Sheriff's Department.
1 month later, and the question remains, where is Jamie Kloss?
It's very frustrating, and we just want to bring a 13-year-old girl home.
The Barron County Sheriff's Department says more than 2,300 tips have been cleared since Kloss disappeared in the early morning hours of October 15th, but investigators aren't giving up.
Do you think this is the tip, and then it turns out to be nothing, or the person has an alibi, or the person wasn't even in the state at the time of the incident, you know? But you think this could be the one, and then it's not. It really brings you down. But when you have that hope and drive in you to make it happen and bring Jamie home, it makes it worth it.
The FBI had previously collected around 80 surveillance videos from businesses and other locations in Barron County. Now it's looking to expand that search to spots like major highways.
They're not looking for anything specific in this except for vehicles of interest. But once they make it into something for us to view, then we'll be able to look at it and say, hey, let's go back and look at this piece for whatever reason.
The department says with hunting season starting this Saturday, it's asking people to keep an eye out and search their properties for anything they believe may be out of place.
We expect to get some calls. We have prepared for those calls. And it might be the one call that we need to make this case go wide open. And we have the staff on call for the weekend and working to handle those calls. But anything that's out of the ordinary on your property is something you should be looking for.
We have to bring Jamie home. Well, coming up next in sports, the best teams in the state are vying for championships on the frozen football field down in Madison. We've got some highlights and winners coming up next.
And now, NBC 26 Sports with Sports Director Charlie Sakaitis.
Welcome back to the show. The Packers are getting ready for a big game in Seattle tonight, but it's not for a title. It's not even a playoff contest. The high school kids, they're playing for championships today, and we have highlights. We begin with the Division VI state championship game featuring Racine Lutheran and Iola Scandinavia, the Thunderbirds. Setting the tone early in this contest, Bryce Huntner plunging in from a yard out, his 40th of the year, which according to science, that's a lot. That's a lot there. After the conversion, it's 8-0. Next Iola possession, all eyes on Huntner instead. They hand it to Alex Sharp, who cuts up the D like a scalpel. 15-0 Thunder, and lest you think the ground game is all they got. Second quarter, 4th and 13 from the 22. Play action. Connor Kirky throws a rope to William Cady. Small window, makes the grab, gets the points. 22-zip Iola Scandinavia. The run game would continue to create opportunities for the passing attack. Another play action effort. Carter Kirky, the receiver here, the spin, the battle. 29-0 at the half, 43-14 the final. Thunderbirds take home the trophy. They are Division VI champs, and Bryce Huntner ends his career as the state's all-time leading rusher.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to represent a team of such amazing guys. Everybody played their heart out the whole season, and you know, it's just been it's a real family, and there's nothing more special than it.
In the Division V title game, Stratford and St. Mary's Springs. Great bout here, first quarter. The black and orange getting on the board early. Stratford's Cade Eric bowling his way across the line. 7-0 contest. Now 14-0 in the second, and Springs needing an answer. Finding an answer. Marcus Orlandoni, arm in the air. He knows that's a score. 14-7. Ahead to the fourth, Ledger's down 3, but in the red zone, Orlandoni, the big stretch across the line. 20-17 the count. That's the final. St. Mary's Springs wins the gold ball, their second straight. We'll have more on them tonight. And finally this evening, Christian Yelich, no longer the likely NL MVP. He's officially the NL MVP. That news announced today. The Brewers superstar finished just 2 home runs and 1 RBI short of the Triple Crown, averaging .326 on the year with 36 bombs and 110 RBI. It was the first year with Milwaukee for him, getting picked up via trade in the offseason, I suppose. You'd call that a good move by David Stearns. And going back to Packers news, coming up in the Now Wisconsin, the Athletics' Michael Cohen is going to be joining us to break that game down.
We all love Michael Cohen.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Charlie, thanks for that. We'll be back with another look at your forecast. Here's a live look outside right now. So, Cameron, the kickoff is in just a little bit after the Now.
Yeah.
How's it looking?
Well, what do you think of when you think of Seattle?
A little bit of rain.
A little bit of rain.
Also, Nirvana,
I think of coffee.
and
Starbucks, Pearl Jam.
Yeah, Pearl Jam.
Sleeplessness in Seattle. I hope we don't have any sleepless nights here in Northeast Wisconsin after tonight's game. Hopefully we can all just sleep very well and move on to the Vikings next Sunday. All right, here's a look at Storm Shield radar. You can see that we've got some scattered showers now moving into western Washington, and that is the forecast for the game this evening. Kickoff temperatures will be in the lower 50s. That chance for rain will be going up as we head throughout the game.
At least they're on brand for the day.
And at least it's 50 for the day there.
Yeah.
A little warmer than last game.
Yeah. See you on the Now.
Topping the lineup here on the Now, the couple behind a viral GoFundMe campaign for a homeless man, now accused of making up the entire thing with him as a way to make a lot of money. We're going to show you some of the red flags that you should look for before you donate to one of these crowdfunding campaigns. And as you make your Thanksgiving plans, we are talking to one of the most frugal families in America. What you should and shouldn't stock up on now at the grocery store. Plus some pretty popular gifts this season. May not be great for your privacy though, so we have a list of what could come with a security risk.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Regina Ahn. We're all about cutting-edge technology on the Now Wisconsin. You've probably seen T-shirt cannons firing T-shirts into crowds at sporting events, but now technology marches forward thanks to a Wisconsin company. We give you not the bazooka, not just brats, the Bratzuka. Rebecca Klopp has the story.
When it comes to creating the next big idea for sports promotion, things like the Bratzuka all start right here in a shop in New Berlin.
Something is always in the works at exciting events.
Right now, manufacture 40 unique items
that are ours. We design, manufacture them right here in New Berlin and deliver them to all the teams around the world.
We offer a number of different products to enhance the sports fans' entertainment at the game.
The company started as a DJ service and morphed into sports and events promotions. They imagine, design, and build their own promotional products. This strobe box for Bango, theirs. This t-shirt Gatling gun, theirs. Now their latest creation, this giant grill, also known as the Bratzuka.
We've had the idea for probably 10 years.
CEO Todd Scheel says the problem with shooting encased meats out of an air gun, it doesn't always go well.
When it leaves the gun through the accelerator, there's an immense amount of pressure. So we had to overcome that. The first wrap we put on it was paper, and it was pretty entertaining. When we shot them, the pressure as it went through the accelerator exploded the capsule, the wrap, and we had brat parts all over the back parking lot.
The secret to solving it came in the case.
Actually, very similar material to the pool noodle.
So it's like a styrofoam?
Yeah, it's similar to a styrofoam, and it has 2 caps on each end, and there's actually a slot cut in the middle that you open it up, you put your brat or your hot dog inside of it, close it up, and then you wrap it with your sponsor logo, team logos.
They were also worried about a fan getting hurt, so the material and angle of the gun helped.
So it's shooting up in the air. When it hits its peak, then it's more or less just kind of, I don't want to say floating down, but it's just slowly making its way down to the fans.
It finally debuted to cheers at the Bucks.
I still wouldn't want to get hit in the head with that thing. Well, that was Rebecca Clough reporting. You can check out the Bratzuka yourself. It's going to be used at about half of all Bucks home games this year at the Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee. Well, it's time to get a check on your weather tonight. Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland is out on the weather deck for us. So, Cameron, a little bit better today than yesterday for sure.
Yeah, we had lots of sunshine across the area today, Regina, and warmer temperatures. I mean, just a couple of days ago, we had highs in the low to mid-20s with, temperatures running about 20 to 25 degrees below normal for this time of year. But we warmed up yesterday. We continued the warm up today, and that meant temperatures made it back up into the lower 40s across much of the viewing area. We even had a high of 44 degrees in Wapaka. Right now, we are looking at temperatures that are falling through the 30s, although Oshkosh has now dropped down to 29. It is 36 degrees in Shawano, and we're looking at 34 degrees in Sturgeon Bay. In Green Bay, we've got a mixture of clear skies, the first quarter moon, and also some clouds. The temperature is 33 degrees in Oshkosh, basically the same thing, and we will see those clouds really start to increase and thicken here as we head through the next several hours because we have a weather maker headed our way. It's an Alberta Clipper type system that's going to be swinging in from the north and west later on tonight, already producing maybe a couple of flakes here across parts of Florence County and Forest County, but there's a larger area of some light snow and snow showers across the arrowhead of Minnesota. That'll swing through here later on tonight into tomorrow morning, producing some snow showers or a period of light snow. It's not going to be that big of a deal, but if we do see some of those snow showers, it's not out of the question that some areas could end up seeing anywhere from a dusting to around a half an inch. And then this is what this particular computer forecast model is showing for tomorrow night into Saturday. I'm thinking it's overdoing the totals just a bit, especially here in northeast Wisconsin. So snow showers late tonight, lows in the upper 20s. Tomorrow, clouds and breezy with a high of 29. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Cameron. We'll be sure to be bundled up. We'll check back in with you a little bit later. Chris?
An unexpected twist in a viral GoFundMe campaign. The homeless man and the couple behind it now accused of making up the entire story. People donated tens of thousands of dollars to this campaign. So what are the red flags that you need to look for when these crowdfunding campaigns are going on? Well, the Now's Corey Rangel is getting answers on that one.
There's a lot of people out there, man, that are trying to help.
A lot. It seemed like a feel-good story. A homeless man gave his last $20 to a woman stranded on a highway after she ran out of gas. To say thank you, the woman and her boyfriend started a GoFundMe page for the homeless man.
Y'all did all that? That is awesome.
And ended up raising more than $400,000. Now it appears to have been a scam, and today all three have been charged for making up the story in order to raise money.
It highlights the promise and the peril of these sites. These incredible stories come out. People were really touched by this and obviously wanted to help, wanted to give money. Now it's not clear if the story was true.
The website GoFraudMe tracks scams on personal crowdfunding sites and has found more than 200 cases in the past 5 years. Consumer Reports admits it can be a challenge to know if you're giving to a legitimate cause.
You really have to read carefully and think, and maybe give to ones that you know the person personally, or you know somebody who can vouch for it, because otherwise you can get caught up, especially in these viral ones.
Also, pay attention to how much money is needed and how much has already been donated.
If somebody's asking for $10,000 and that's what they need, there's no reason for a campaign to go far above that.
For the Now, I'm Corey Rangel.
All right, Corey, thank you. Next in our lineup, as you're making your Thanksgiving plans, we are talking to one of the most frugal families in America. What you should and shouldn't stock up on now at the grocery store. Michael Cohen of The Athletic joining us from Seattle. And Michael, we'll make it simple for you real quick. What do you see the keys to this game being for the Packers?
Well, I think first of all, the biggest key on defense is going to be just who is out there. They've already ruled out Nick Perry. They've already ruled out Kevin King. They've already ruled out, a number of guys across both sides of the ball, because don't forget, these short weeks are brutal from an injury standpoint. So you're talking about being down 3 starters, with Bryce being the 3rd defensive guy that's already ruled out. So honestly, for the Packers, I think the biggest key is just going to be who they have out there on defense, because they played a great game against the Miami Dolphins, really accomplished everything Mike Pettin wanted to. Now it's a matter of, can they do it again with tons of mixed and matched parts out there on defense?
If that's the case, if defense is the key on one part, offensively, what can this team do to maybe help them out? Is this a situation where, again, Aaron Jones needs to get a few carries?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's a game where they can run the ball consistently and, chew up 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 minutes, some of their possessions, that'll go a long way toward limiting, some of the potential exposures that this defense will face. If Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy can find a way to blend the run and the pass and give Aaron Jones at least 15 to 20 touches, I think that sets them up for an opportunity to keep this game lower scoring. And if it's a lower scoring game, I would think that probably favors the Packers, just given that, their defense, that would mean, was probably playing well or wasn't on the field very long.
Well, thank you, Michael, for joining us. That's all we have for sports, ladies and gentlemen. For the Now Wisconsin, I'm Charlie Sakaitis, keeping you connected. President Trump expected to meet Vladimir Putin at the end of the month at the G20 in Argentina. There's some new information here starting the Now news feed. Putin speaking with Vice President Pence about that today. They met during a meeting in Singapore. Arms control expected to be a top topic. Well, a lot of people cutting cable these days, and cable is apparently taking notice. Prices pretty much stayed the same this year. We have seen prices ride constantly for a decade. On average, cable's still about $107 a month. Walmart is cutting down on healthcare costs by making it harder on their employees. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. The company will pay for surgeries at well-regarded hospitals that employees may need to travel for, but they won't pay for lesser procedures closer to home. That extra hurdle, cutting down on what they believe is unnecessary procedures. Well, we're talking money, and an overlooked tool that you probably have access to could help you with your retirement. Now, the Employee Benefit Research Institute found more Americans use health savings accounts to cover medical expenses, but they don't consider it part of their retirement, and they really should. The average 65-year-old couple will need at least $200,000 for healthcare expenses in retirement. That's according to Boston College research. Now, here's why HSAs are great when you talk about retirement, because you don't get hit with any of the taxes when you use the money on medical-related expenses. You do with IRAs and 401ks. Now, there are caps each year on how much that you really can put in your HSA account, but that money you put in is pre-tax, so contribute as close to that cap as you can each year. Contribution limits went up for 2019, so if you can afford to pay for medical expenses now out of pocket, don't touch that HSA. Yeah, I mean, let's just say a 40-year-old employee contributes the max HSA allowed starting next year. Well, they retire at 65 and don't touch that money. They could have more than $87,000 saved for future medical care. Now, most HSAs do earn a little interest as well, and you don't need to worry about losing money. It is yours to keep, rolling over year to year.
It's in Wisconsin on a Thursday night. I'm Regina Ahn. Thanks for stopping by. Downtown Green Bay celebrated 50 years of the peace tree lighting last night. The tradition was started back in 1968 by a group called People for People of Green Bay. It was in response to the Vietnam War as a call for peace. Mayor Schmidt offered an official proclamation to People for People of Green Bay